Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a young person named Alex. Alex wasn't much different from many kids you might know. Alex had a big smile and a laugh that could fill a room. But Alex also had a secret love, a love for glowing screens. Every day after school, Alex would zoom straight to the comfy couch, grab the game controller, or snuggle up with the TV remote. Hours would melt away like ice cream on a hot day. The bright colors and exciting sounds of video games kept Alex glued to the screen. One adventure would lead to another, then another, until the clock hands spun far past bedtime. Cartoons and funny shows on TV also held Alex captive. Just one more episode. Alex would whisper to the empty room, even as eyelids felt heavy and tired. The moon would often be high in the sky, peeking through the window, long before Alex finally decided to switch everything off. The next morning, when the alarm clock buzzed, Alex would groan and pull the blanket over sleepy eyes. It felt like a big, heavy rock was pushing Alex down, making it hard to get out of bed. Sometimes, Alex even missed breakfast because getting ready felt like such a huge effort. The thought of school seemed blurry and far away, like a dream that was hard to remember. This happened almost every single day. Alex loved playing and watching so much that the idea of stopping seemed impossible. The fun of the games and shows was just too strong to resist, even if it meant feeling tired all the time. The late nights and sleepy mornings started to show in other ways too. Alex's room, which used to be neat, began to look like a tornado had swept through it. Clothes lay in piles on the floor, some clean, some not. Books and toys were scattered everywhere, making it hard to walk without tripping. Empty snack wrappers peeked out from under the bed, and dusty game cases piled up next to the TV. It wasn't just a little messy, it was a big, jumbled mess that seemed to grow bigger every day. But the biggest problem wasn't just the messy room. It was Alex's schoolwork. Important papers from school would often get lost somewhere in the piles. Homework assignments that needed to be done sat untouched in the backpack, day after day. Alex would try to start looking at the math problems or reading assignments, but a voice in Alex's head would say, "Just 5 more minutes of gaming," or, "I'll do it after this show." Those 5 minutes would turn into an hour, then 2. And soon it was bedtime again, with the homework still unfinished. Because of this, Alex often felt grumpy. Waking up tired made Alex short-tempered. Little things, like a spoon falling on the floor or a friend asking a question, would make Alex sigh or frown. The joy Alex once had seemed hidden under a cloud of tiredness and undone tasks. Alex knew deep down that things weren't right, that there was a knot of worry growing inside, but didn't know how to untie it. The fun of the screens was still too strong, pulling Alex away from everything else that needed to be done. Then came a day Alex would never forget. It was the day of the big trip to the science museum. Everyone in Alex's class had been talking about it for weeks. There were going to be giant dinosaur bones, a planetarium that showed the stars, and even a room where you could touch real meteorites. Alex had packed a special backpack the night before, filled with snacks and a little notebook for drawing. But that night, Alex had stayed up later than usual, trying to beat a new level in a video game. Just this one, Alex promised, but one level turned into many. The next morning, the alarm clock rang, but Alex was too deep in sleep to hear it. The sun rose higher and higher, shining brightly through the window, but Alex kept sleeping. Finally, a loud knock on the door woke Alex with a start. It was Alex's mom, her face looking worried. "Alex, you've overslept. The bus for the museum left 20 minutes ago." Alex's eyes flew open. The words hit like a cold splash of water. The museum trip, the dinosaurs, the stars, all gone. A heavy, sinking feeling filled Alex's stomach. Tears welled up in Alex's eyes, hot and fast. Alex scrambled out of bed, looking at the clock, then at the empty backpack by the door. It was true. The bus was gone. The special day was gone. Alex felt a wave of sadness so big it hurt. This wasn't just missing breakfast. This was missing something truly important, something that couldn't be brought back. Alex slumped back onto the bed, the grumpiness replaced by a deep, aching sadness. The day of the missed museum trip was tough. Alex stayed quiet, barely eating dinner, the sadness still heavy in the air around them. But later that evening, a familiar sound filled the house. A gentle knock on the front door, followed by a sweet, flowery scent. It was Grandma Rose. Grandma Rose was a special person, with eyes that twinkled like stars and a smile that made you feel warm inside. She always wore colorful scarves and smelled faintly of lavender and fresh-baked cookies. Grandma Rose had come for a surprise visit, and as soon as she stepped inside, her kind eyes seemed to notice everything. She saw Alex sitting alone on the couch, not playing games, not watching TV, just staring blankly ahead. She saw the droop in Alex's shoulders and the faint red around Alex's eyes. Grandma Rose didn't need many words to understand. She sat down next to Alex, not saying anything at first, just gently patting Alex's hand. "What's wrong, my little sunshine?" she finally asked, her voice soft and full of love. Alex looked up, and a fresh wave of tears started to fall. Alex told her all about the museum trip, about staying up too late, and about how much it hurt to miss out. Grandma Rose listened patiently, nodding her head slowly. She didn't scold Alex or tell Alex off. Instead, she just held Alex close, letting Alex cry until the tears began to slow down. She saw the deep sadness, not just for the trip, but for all the missed moments that had built up. She knew Alex needed more than just comfort. Alex needed a new way to see things. After Alex's tears had dried, Grandma Rose gave a gentle squeeze. "My dear Alex," she began, her voice a comforting hum, "I know you're hurting. Sometimes, when we want something very much, we don't always know the best way to get there. Let me tell you a story about a little bird I once knew." Alex sniffled, but leaned closer, curious. Grandma Rose always told the best stories. "Once, there was a tiny bird named Pip," Grandma Rose started. "Pip lived in a beautiful forest and dreamed of flying high, higher than any other bird, right up to the fluffy white clouds. Pip would watch the eagles soar and wish for wings as strong as theirs. But Pip also loved a good game. Every morning, when the other young birds would stretch their wings and practice flapping, Pip would see a wiggly worm on the ground. Just one worm. Pip would chirp, diving down to play. One worm would lead to another, then another, and soon Pip was so busy playing with worms that the sun would start to set. Pip would look up at the sky, feeling a little sad that the day was almost over and Pip hadn't practiced flying at all. "I'll do it tomorrow," Pip would promise. But the next day, the same thing would happen. Another wiggly worm, another fun game, and another day gone without practicing. All the other young birds were getting stronger. Their wings growing mighty, but Pip's wings stayed weak. Pip's dream of flying high seemed to get further and further away, hidden behind all the fun games with worms. Alex listened, eyes wide, a tiny frown on their face. The story of Pip the bird felt strangely familiar. Grandma Rose paused her story, letting Alex think about poor Pip. Then, with a soft smile, she continued. One day, Pip saw a very old, wise owl sitting high in a tree. The owl had watched Pip for many days. Pip bravely flew up to the owl, feeling a little embarrassed. "Owl," Pip chirped sadly, "I want to fly high, but I keep getting stuck playing with worms. My wings are still so weak." Single quote. The wise owl blinked its big eyes. "Pip," it hooted softly, "even the tallest tree starts with a tiny seed. You don't need to fly to the clouds all at once. Just try a little bit, every single day." Single quote. So, Pip decided to try. The next morning, before looking for any worms, Pip flapped its tiny wings just 10 times. It felt a little silly, and Pip was still tempted by the wiggly worms, but Pip remembered the owl's words. The next day, Pip flapped 20 times. Slowly, Pip started spending a few minutes each morning practicing. Some days were hard, and Pip still played with worms, but Pip always made sure to do a little bit of flying practice first. Weeks turned into months. Pip's wings grew stronger, little by little. Soon, Pip could fly higher than the other young birds. Then, one sunny afternoon, Pip took a deep breath, flapped with all its might, and soared. Up Pip went, past the tallest trees, past the highest mountain peaks, right into the big, fluffy clouds. Pip looked down and saw all the other birds flying below. Pip had done it. Pip had flown higher than them all, not by wishing, but by trying a little bit every single day. Alex's eyes were shining with wonder at Pip's success. "So, Pip learned to fly high because it practiced?" Alex asked, a small voice full of new understanding. Grandma Rose nodded, her smile soft. "Exactly, my dear. And what did Pip learn to do first, before playing with worms?" "To flap its wings a little bit," Alex replied, thinking hard. "That's right," Grandma Rose said. And do you know what Pip's story teaches us about our own lives, Alex? It teaches us about time. Think of time like a special treasure. Every morning, when the sun comes up, everyone gets a brand new box of this treasure. It's filled with moments, minutes, and hours. You can use this treasure to play, to learn, to help, or even to rest. But here's the most important thing. Once a moment is used, it's gone forever. You can't get it back, just like you can't put a worm back in the ground once Pip has played with it. Quote, Alex looked down at their hands, imagining a box full of sparkling moments. So, I only get a certain amount of treasure each day? That's exactly it, Grandma Rose confirmed. You get 24 hours, no more, no less. And how you choose to spend those hours, those precious moments, helps you build your own strong wings to fly towards your dreams, just like Pip. If you spend all your treasure playing with worms, you might miss out on flying high, or even on a wonderful trip to a museum. Her eyes twinkled, gently reminding Alex of the day's sadness. It's not about not having fun, Alex, but about choosing wisely how to use your special treasure. Alex thought about the treasure of time, and how much had been spent on games and shows. The idea of missing out on more important things, like Pip almost missing flying high, made Alex feel a new kind of determination. But Grandma, Alex said, a little voice of worry still there, how do I start? It feels like such a big mess, with my room and my homework. Grandma Rose smiled, her eyes crinkling at the corners. Remember the wise owl, Alex? It didn't tell Pip to fly to the moon right away. It said, a little bit, every single day. We'll make a simple plan, just for you. She pulled out a small notepad and a pencil from her purse. Let's think about your afternoons after school. What do you like to do first? Alex mumbled, play games or watch TV. Good. Grandma Rose chirped. We can still do that. How about you play for a little while, say, 30 minutes when you first get home? That's your fun time worm. Alex's eyes brightened a bit. Really? I can still play? Of course. But after your 30 minutes of play, what's something important that needs your attention, like Pip's flying practice? Homework, Alex sighed. Yes, homework, Grandma Rose agreed. So, after your play, you do your homework. And then, once your brain has worked hard, what about that room of yours, where things are a little scattered? Alex giggled slightly. It's a big mess. It is, Grandma Rose nodded. So, after homework, you spend just a little bit of time, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, helping to clean up. Not the whole room at once. Just one small part. How does that sound? Play a little, do homework, then help clean up. Alex considered the plan. It sounded much less scary than trying to fix everything at once. It sounded possible. The next afternoon, when Alex got home from school, the video game controller seemed to call out with its usual tempting song. But Alex remembered Grandma Rose's words and the little bird, Pip. Okay, Alex muttered to themselves, 30 minutes of play first. Alex set a timer on the kitchen stove, something they had never done before, and then dove into a game. The 30 minutes flew by, as they always did. When the timer dinged, Alex felt a little tug to keep playing, but a stronger feeling of wanting to try the new plan took over. Alex put down the controller. It was hard, but Alex did it. Then, Alex pulled out the backpack. Inside was a math worksheet, still looking untouched from 2 days ago. Homework, Alex whispered, remembering the plan. Just a little bit, like Pip. Instead of trying to do the whole sheet, Alex decided to work for just 15 minutes. Setting the timer again, Alex focused on the first few problems. It wasn't easy, and Alex made a few mistakes, but when the timer buzzed again, Alex had finished 5 problems. Alex looked at the completed problems. 5 problems. It wasn't all of them, but it was 5 more than had been done yesterday. A small, warm feeling started to bubble up inside Alex. It was a feeling of accomplishment, a tiny spark of pride. I did it, Alex thought. It wasn't perfect, and the room was still a mess, but Alex had taken the first step. It felt good, like a tiny wing flapping for the very first time. That small spark of pride was like a tiny seed planted in Alex's heart. The next day, Alex repeated the plan. 30 minutes of play, then homework. This time, Alex managed to do 20 minutes of homework, even tackling a tricky reading passage. And then, remembering the third part of the plan, Alex picked up 3 shirts from the floor and put them in the laundry basket. It wasn't much, but it was something. The days that followed saw Alex slowly but surely sticking to the new routine. It wasn't perfect, of course. Some days, Alex still found it hard to stop playing games when the timer went off. Sometimes, the homework felt too boring, and Alex would sigh loudly. And the idea of cleaning the whole room still felt like a mountain. But Alex kept trying, remembering Pip and the wise owl. Instead of playing games until dinner, Alex would now finish homework before the sun even thought about setting. A few times, Alex even helped set the dinner table without being asked, or put away the dishes. Each small step built upon the last. Alex started to feel less grumpy in the mornings, waking up a little more refreshed. The knot of worry about unfinished tasks began to loosen. It was like slowly building a tall tower, one block at a time, instead of trying to lift the whole tower at once. Each tiny success made Alex want to try just a little bit more the next day. As Alex continued to follow the play, homework, clean plan, something amazing started to happen. The big, jumbled mess in Alex's room slowly began to shrink. Instead of mountains of clothes, there were now just small hills. Toys found their way back into boxes, and books were stacked neatly on shelves. You could actually see the floor. It wasn't sparkling clean like a picture in a magazine, but it was much, much tidier. Alex felt a sense of calm when walking into a room that didn't feel so overwhelming. And it wasn't just the room. At school, things also started to look up. Because Alex was doing homework every day, even just a little bit, Alex understood lessons better. When the teacher asked questions, Alex knew the answers more often. On the next math test, Alex saw a grade that was much better than before, with happy green marks instead of sad red ones. The teacher even wrote, "Great improvement, Alex," at the top. Alex's parents also noticed the changes. They saw a tidier room and heard fewer sighs about homework. They didn't have to remind Alex as much, and that made everyone in the house feel a bit happier. Alex still loved video games and TV, but now there was a clear time for them. The grumpiness that used to hang around Alex like a dark cloud began to disappear, replaced by a lighter, more cheerful feeling. It felt good to see the progress, just like Pip must have felt seeing the ground get smaller as it flew higher. With homework done in a tidier room, Alex found something wonderful happening. There was extra time. Time that used to vanish into thin air while Alex played games or watched TV until late. Now, in the late afternoon, with the sun still bright, Alex had a choice. Instead of just heading back to the screen, Alex would sometimes look out the window and see friends playing outside. One day, Alex saw Leo and Mia kicking a soccer ball in the park. Usually, Alex would just watch from the window, feeling too tired or too busy with just one more level. But this time, Alex felt different. With energy from a good night's sleep and no homework hanging over their head, Alex grabbed a jacket and ran outside. "Hey, Alex," Leo shouted, surprised and happy to see them. Alex joined the game, kicking the ball and laughing. It felt so good to run and jump, to feel the fresh air, and to hear the happy chatter of friends. Alex realized how much this had been missed. Playing outside wasn't just fun, it made Alex feel even happier and more alive. The tiredness that used to make Alex want to just sit and stare at a screen was gone. Now, after a day of school and getting things done, there was still plenty of energy for real-life adventures. It was like finding a whole new treasure chest full of moments, just waiting to be enjoyed. One sunny Tuesday afternoon, Alex came home, played for the agreed 30 minutes, and then, with a determined mind, sat down to tackle the day's homework. There was a science worksheet about plants and a few pages to read for history. Alex worked steadily, remembering the feeling of pride from completing tasks. No more, just 5 more minutes, of distractions. Alex focused, checked the answers, and before even realizing it, the last problem was done. Alex looked at the clock. It was still quite early. The homework was finished, and there was still a good hour before dinner. Alex had even spent 10 minutes tidying up a corner of the room, putting away some art supplies. What to do with this unexpected bonus time? Alex walked over to the bookshelf, a place that used to be hidden behind piles of clothes. There, among the textbooks, was a colorful book about space, full of bright pictures of planets and stars. Alex had wanted to read it for ages but never seemed to find the time. Now, with a clear mind and no worries about unfinished tasks, Alex curled up on the newly cleared bed, opened the book, and started to read. The stories of faraway galaxies and brave astronauts filled Alex's imagination. Each page was a new adventure, and Alex felt a deep sense of contentment. It wasn't just fun, it was a quiet, happy feeling of using time well. This extra time felt like a special gift, a reward for all the small efforts. Alex smiled, turning another page, feeling truly good about the day. A few weeks later, Grandma Rose called Alex. "How is my little sunshine doing?" she asked. Her voice warm and cheerful through the phone. Alex's face lit up. "Grandma, I'm doing great. My room is so much better, and I even got an A on my science test." Alex excitedly told her about playing soccer with friends and reading the spacebook. "I even went to bed early last night, and I woke up feeling super good." Grandma Rose listened, her heart swelling with pride and joy. "That's wonderful news, Alex. It sounds like you're learning to use your special treasure of time very wisely." "I am," Alex said, a serious note in their voice. "I understand now, Grandma. Like Pip, I have to do the important things first, even just a little bit, so I can fly high. And if I don't waste my time on too many worms, I get more time for other fun things too. I don't want to miss another museum trip, or miss out on playing with my friends, or reading my favorite books." Alex paused, then added, "Thank you, Grandma Rose. Thank you for the story and for helping me." Alex truly understood now. It wasn't about giving up fun, it was about making sure there was enough time for all the important things, including dreams. The idea of time as a treasure made perfect sense, and Alex realized that by taking care of those moments, life became much richer and happier. From that day on, Alex looked at each new morning with a fresh sense of excitement. The alarm clock no longer felt like a grumpy monster, but a friendly reminder that a new box of time treasure had arrived. Alex still enjoyed video games and TV, but now they were a planned part of the day, a sweet reward after important tasks were done. Alex had learned that a little bit of work and tidying each day didn't take away from fun. It actually made fun even better because there were no worries nagging in the back of Alex's mind. Alex's parents noticed the lasting change. Their home felt lighter, filled with more laughter and less nagging. Alex's teachers saw a more focused and engaged student. Most importantly, Alex felt a change deep inside. The heavy sadness was gone, replaced by a feeling of confidence and joy. Alex knew that by using time wisely, by choosing to flap their wings a little bit every day, anything was possible. Alex started making plans for the future. Maybe joining the school soccer team, or learning to play an instrument, or even starting a small garden. These were dreams that once seemed too far away, hidden behind hours of screen time. But now, with a clear understanding of time's value and the power of small, consistent efforts, Alex felt ready for anything. Every day was an adventure, a chance to make the most of the special treasure of time, making life not just better, but truly more fun.